What's up, YouTube? This is Big Bart. Alright, I'm going to get back to talking about basketball, but I'll have to make this video because I've alluded to it in other videos, but I didn't make this specific area the main focus of the video, so I'm going to do it now. Alright, this is to Karceno, who keeps pushing this ridiculous agenda that, well, Charles Barkley is a hypocrite because, well, he joined the Houston Rockets. So how dare he criticize Kevin Durant for doing the same thing? It's not the same thing. On the surface, it seems like it's the same thing, but it's not. Number one, okay, yes, it's true that Charles Barkley was part of a team, the Phoenix Suns, who blew a 3-1 lead against the eventual champion Houston Rockets. And yes, Kevin Durant was part of a team that blew a 3-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors. And they both eventually joined those teams. Well, yeah. On the surface, it seems similar, but it's not. Number one, the stage each one was in their careers. Kevin Durant is in the prime of his career. He's 27 years old. He turns 28 in September. Still in the very prime of his career. He's at the peak of his powers. Charles Barkley was 33 years old when he left the Phoenix Suns in 1996. Phoenix was rebuilding. They were in a rebuilding process. That particular season, they went 41-41. All right. I don't think they made the playoffs that year. I could be wrong about that, but with a record of 41-41 in the Western Conference at that particular time, I'm trying to think. I know that Seattle was number 1 seed. No, they didn't make the playoffs that year. Phoenix didn't make the playoffs. So, and also, for a little while now, Kevin Johnson had made it known that he was going to retire around the time he turned 30 years old, which he did. He did come back briefly a couple seasons later when the Phoenix Suns needed a point guard. But he left. Charles Barkley at age 33 was not going to be part of a rebuilding process. He requested to be traded. He was traded to Houston Rockets. Now, another difference. Now, although on the surface, Durant's team blew a 3-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors, Golden State still was the prohibitive favorite in that series. Alright? They won 73 fucking games, okay? This is the same team that was called, if they won a title, they'd be considered possibly the greatest team in NBA history. Remember all that? Okay? Revisionists. Remember all that? When Phoenix was up 3-1 against Houston Rockets, people were like, okay, well, they're supposed to be up by 3-1. They're supposed to be. Okay? They were the second seed. The first seed, I believe, was the San Antonio Spurs. Okay? Phoenix was the second seed. Houston was the sixth seed. Houston did something that no team has ever done before or since, which is win a title by winning on the road in every freaking series. First round, semis, conference, and the NBA Finals. They never had home court advantage. They went on a miraculous streak. The Cinderella team, so to speak. All right, so that's a complete difference. Okay, it was really miraculous that Houston was able to win that series. Whereas, even though it's still amazing in some ways that Golden State was able to come back, it's not surprising because they're the Golden State Warriors. You see what I'm saying? So Barkley leaving to go to Houston isn't that big a, oh, look at him running. And no, that team, they had won the title. But I'll get to that later on. Matter of fact, I'll get to that point now. Kevin Durant went to the same team that beat him a month later, the same team. Whereas Charles Barkley joined the same organization, but it wasn't the same team. Because that was in 95 when that team beat his Phoenix Suns. when they were still a good team. When Charles Barkley joined them, it was shortly before the 96 season, 96-97 season, or a full year and some change later. That roster had been almost completely overhauled. The only players that were still remaining were Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, Charles Jones, Sam Mack. I believe that's it. Oh, and Mario Elie. And those were role players. Everybody else, they were gone. Carl Herrera, gone. Sam Cassell, Robert Horry, bye-bye. They weren't there anymore. Vernon Maxwell, Matt Bullard, no. Tracy Murray, gone to the Bullets at the time. They were gone. Scott Brooks became a coach. Kenny Smith, gone to Detroit. His last year before he became an analyst. That team was gone, okay? That championship team was not... Same organization, but the same team, no. And finally, the team that he was joining, unlike the Warriors, where everybody's in their primes, Hakeem Olajuwon was finally starting to show signs he was declining as a player. Clyde Drexler hadn't been the same guy since he injured his knee in '92. What was it, his knee, I think? Yeah. He had a knee injury, I think it was in March or February of '92 or something like that. He had a knee injury. He was never the same guy after that knee injury. He was still a good, very good player. He could still get you 17, 18 points a game on average. But he was no longer that 25, 26, 27, 28 points per game guy anymore. No, he wasn't that guy in Portland. So it was not the same team. And I remember that 96, 97 team because they had two good players I liked, Karceno Mobley and Michael Dickerson. But their point guard, Matt Maloney, was garbage. And that's pretty much it. It's not the same thing, guys. It's not. So, I hope that clears that up. Whenever you hear Karceno talk about, Charles Barkley did the same thing, it's not.